So if you go to the revision 7-revision, right, in JavaScript, in the DOM section, okay, in the DOM, okay, it does not looks good, but it's okay, right? Let's, there is some breakdown how you're going to create DOM elements and all that. I mean, basically definition, right? So just imagine this is the basic HTML. Before that, I mean, you can read through this, right? You can just read through here. I know, I think I put something like big text here, right? That not looks good. Before that, let's see, let's go back here. What we're gonna do, right? Before that, let's start with the question, okay? So document object model. Identify and construct the document object model, right? DOM tree. So what is DOM tree now, right? DOM tree is basically the tree-like structure from our document, okay? So everything is placed perfectly inside HTML, right? You have the basically HTML or document types. First one is document type, right? Look at here, document type, then HTML. So HTML is the like main parent, or we can call it the root. Then inside there is a head, children. Head has also the title, children, right? And there is a title element, then you have the text element. So basically HTML elements are called node, right? And the node can have the content, okay, the text. So even this is a node, one node, right? The body is a parent node, which is also child of HTML node, okay? And this body has 3 nodes: heading 1, paragraph, anchor tag, right? And these nodes have something called content, right? That is text. So all these things form like basically tree-like structure, right? That is called document tree, okay? So if you go back, search here, right? HTML document tree or DOM, right? What we can get, let's see. Something like this, something like that, right? Look at this. Document object model, right? So you have document, root element is HTML, then head element. Head element has like title. There is a title, my title, right? Text. Then inside the body, you have heading 1, it has a text. Then a tag has attribute and text, right? So that's how the HTML is constructed, okay? So basically the DOM structure model or DOM model, right, or document object model is used to describe the tree-like representation of the document, okay? Each branch of the tree ends in a node, right? Each branch of the tree, okay? So like head is one branch, right? So if head is one node, it can have another node inside also, right? Like title is the node. So just imagine node is nothing but element, HTML element, that is a node, right? And node can have a text or content, okay? Just understand that part, right? And we have learned in the layout, how you can structure things, okay? One div can have many element inside or node inside, right? Fine, so we get that idea on the document tree here, right? So a document model object, okay, the tree, right? So we can come back to this one later. I mean, like the events, right? All different events. Before that, right? Let's let's try to go through some of the basic stuff of the DOM, okay? Let's do that one. So here in the script, I have added some content. So even this one, right? The definition, okay? Let's look at this definition. Document object model. So if I have to describe this, DOM is basically the object, right, that represents the page you see in the web browser. Okay, web browser, right? So for example, let's say I'm just going to create one index page here like this, right, and add some content. So I have HTML, then head section, right? It has child like meta, two different meta, right? And then title. These are the children of the head. So here I can just put a learning DOM. Okay. Now in the body, right, you can have a heading one. This is heading one. You can have paragraph, right? You can add all that, right, for now. So I will just take this out. I'm not gonna, use this for now. Just remove. So I have this index page, right? If I want to, like connect this page to my JavaScript, this is script, right? What I have to do? Just put the script element here, right? Like that. And then attribute, source attribute is used for connecting the script file. Okay. Clear? So just the bottom of the line you can add, right? You can add this also in the top. You can even add here, right? On the head section. It will also work. Okay. You just put a defer, right? What defer does is it will make sure this file only load, or JavaScript only load after the HTML elements, or basically after the body or HTML element is completely loaded, right? Okay. So the best thing is just put in the bottom, right? So the first, all the HTML will load in the website, and only this will run. Why I need to run this later? Because I need to access one of the form or elements from this body, right, and then make changes. If your JavaScript will run first before you get the HTML, right, that means there will be some error. It will not gonna find something, and then it will just drop error, right? That's the reason. Let's call it home page, for example. So the definition, what definition is saying now, right? Object that represents the page you see in the browser, right? So DOM is nothing but the object that represent the page you see in the browser. So if I open this page, let's go back here. So if I just open this page in the browser, right? There is something. Okay, so now because I'm getting something from here, okay, just ignore this, right? Just remember that whatever I have, this heading one right now, something coming from JavaScript also, but ignore that. So the page, what we see here, right? Look at this, structure, okay? In the element, right? If I just inspect, you can see this element. So this is the DOM, document object model, right? So DOM is nothing but the object. So this is the object which you see in the browser. Clear? Now, what is the benefit? So let's read through this. So DOM provides you with the API to interact with it, right? So because now you have DOM, right? You have this DOM in your browser. Now it provides you with some API. So what is API now, right? Basically the functionality built inside the DOM, okay, to access the element here. So that is called API, right? Any functionality related to the DOM which is given by the browser, right, to access the branch or anything from the document, right, that are called the the API of the DOM. Okay, so like get element by ID, or set attribute, get attribute, something like that, right? Inner text, anything you see, right, any functionality attached to the document is basically the API, right, of the DOM. Okay. So next is web browser construct the DOM, right? So web browser construct the DOM. Basically, when we load our HTML, the browser creates the DOM object. Okay, that is all happens. So the browser construct the DOM when it loads the HTML, right? Good. And it structures all the elements in the tree-like representation, right? Basically, same thing, like the browser will structure all the elements inside the document, right, in form of tree-like representation. Okay. Basically, there is a root element, then it has some branches inside. Branches can have another branches, right? The way you construct, right, the way you group things, that is basically the DOM tree-like representation, right? So next thing is, so we got the DOM, right? When you load the HTML in browser, there is an object called DOM, and JavaScript can access the DOM to dynamically change the content, structure, and style of the web page. This is the use case why we need DOM, so that JavaScript can dynamically change the content, structure, and style of the web page, right? That is all about the DOM. So let's do first thing, right? What we're going to do is, okay, let me comment out all this, right? So, like how you access your document, basically document, right? This is the just object called document. If you, like, let's console log, see what we get, right? Console.log document, right? What we will get. So, let me go side by side now, right? See that? So you get object now, right? It just give you the object, or let's call it DOM, right? It just give you the document word, right? Because the page load, step one, page load, HTML page load, JavaScript creates the DOM. You can access that DOM now, right, in the JavaScript by just calling the document. Okay, so that is the whole document. Okay, so now what are the things inside this document, right? Can we look at that? Let's try to look at that. Okay, so what I will do now, right, just below this, console dot I think dir, yeah, and then call this document, and let's see what we get, right? So inside this document, you will see all the properties now of the document, right? Even the, look at the body, there is a body, child nodes, you can find title, head. Okay, let's go to the title. What is title, right? Because your page has title, right? What you see on the top here. Okay, so everything related to this document now, right, you can find inside there. Title is a learning DOM, right? Look at this. Okay, so you can access all this property now, on mouse, whatever, on touch, whatever this, right, on mouse click, what I mean, just imagine, right, on submit the form, on submit, right? So just think like this. Document is a big object now, right? And it has all the properties we need to deal with our HTML. Okay, it is given already, right? And things will activate when we use. Okay, so you get the idea now, right? Fine, guys. So let's continue learning couple of properties from here now. So in the React also, okay, so this is the real DOM, right? In the React, what React does is, this is the whole document of your HTML. What React does, right, is it will make the copy of this DOM. Okay, so for example, let's go to, what is that, scale is, right? This one, okay. So this is the, for example, this is the DOM. Let's think this is the real DOM, right? DOM. What is DOM? DOM is basically the document structure of your page, right? The whole HTML structure of your page. That is this object. Now in React, what happened? It will make a copy of this, same copy, right? Here, call it virtual DOM. DOM, right? So when you change something, right? See, in JavaScript, we have to access the element and make, like change there and insert the something like that, right? You have to do everything manually. But the React, creates the, React is more advanced now, right? We don't have to do all that. You don't have to access everything, right? Because you can write HTML and CSS and everything in the same place, right? In React or in the Next.js. So, and even JavaScript is same place. So we don't have to access anything. So that is the benefit of React, right? Because it has a virtual DOM. Whatever you make change here, right? So, the React virtual DOM will compare with the real DOM now. Compare, right? Whatever, let's say this is heading 1, right? And you have make change to the heading 1. Then only this heading 1 will update. And whatever update will be display in the web page, right? Okay. So it just make compare all the time, up to date, right? If something change in the virtual DOM, so only that portion of the element will be updated in the real DOM. So that's why React makes things faster, right? To render in the page, okay? But we will talk about that during the React revision, right? Let's not go there right now. Let's continue this. So what we're gonna do, we start with some of the basic properties of the DOM, right? Let's work on that. For example, let's say I want to access the body, right? So document.body. Now tell me what is this, right? What is this one? What is equal to? Anyone? Can you give me the idea? What is that? Equal sign. Can you tell me what is equal symbol?
Dave, doesn't it mean you are assigning it to the body?
Yes, exactly. So always remember, equal is assignment. In JavaScript, equal is assignment operator, right? So right side is the value, left is the storage, the variable where you can store, right? So when I run this JavaScript file, what gonna happen? It will create, remember the execution context, the body will be created in the memory. Then when the code runs, it will read the body from the document, right? What is document now? We all know document is the object, right? And it has so many properties inside. Even there is a body now, right? Okay. So I can access, just imagine what the document or DOM is object, right? So I can access this DOM object using document. That's the one, okay? Inside here is something called body now, body, okay? And whatever in the body, right? I don't care, but there is something in the body, right? Okay. So I say document dot body. So let's console log this, right? And see what I can get. Because I can console log variables. So inspect this. See, I get the body now, right? Look at here. It just give me error, but in the body, I have what? Heading 1, and there is a script, right? Inside the body, correct? That is what I can get. So it gives me access to the whole body, whatever in the body, right? So now you have to think, okay, document dot something, right? You can access from the HTML. I mean, this document is basically the whole DOM, right? The whole object of the HTML. Just make a connection, okay? So you can access anything, right? Even I can go and access document dot h1 and see what happened, right? I get undefined. I cannot access that, right? Because h1 is what? Inside. Basically, h1 is not the part of the document, right? It's the part of the body, okay? So to get to access any element, now you have to use the method of the document, right? But let's wait until there. So let's wait until that point, right? So for now, I will just access the body because body is like a main element right there. It is part of the document. Something must be inside the document, right? That only you're going to access, okay? That's the point here. Like not all the elements are there, right? Now that's why it gives you the function like get element by ID, get element by class name, whatever, right? To access the other nodes. But most of the time, right? That is what you're going to do. But if there is something already available like title, right, you can access, okay? You have access to that, right? For example, even title you can access. Let's look at here now, right? Title. So when I do dot title, right, it should give me the option here, title, and save. So see, now document dot title is this learning DOM, right? Because I have access to that title here. So certain things are already inside the document. You can access that, okay? I hope we get the idea. But right now I just need the body, right? Because I want to add something inside there, okay? Body. So next thing, let's learn about append. What is append and child? Append child. What we can do with append? This is the comment. So yeah, what we can do with append and append child. Add node, right, to the document tree. You can call it document tree or any element, right? So append, you can append, let's say body is one of the node, right? The HTML like body, there is a HTML body, correct? That is one of the node. You want to append something inside, right? Let's look at here. If I change hello world from append, right? See that? So it just added something to the body, okay? If you go and check the element, right? If you go back and check element here inside the body, there is a heading 1 and you see that text, it just append the text, right? So what is the difference between append and append child? Body dot append child, right? In append child, you can only append HTML. If you just add something like this, it's not gonna work, right? It let's see, it did not work, right? Look at here, you don't see anything. So append child will only add HTML element. How we create element now? How we can create element, right? Anyone, how we create element? Because mostly what you will do, right, you're not gonna add some text like this. You need to, you're gonna like create element, right? Sometimes div or whatever element you want to create, and then you're gonna insert in one of the parent element, right? For example, let's say, okay, let's insert in the body for now, and then later we're gonna go back and create our boxes and add there. So to create element, you're gonna use what? Document dot create element, right? This is the simple one method. So document object has function called create element. This is the one function you're going to need to create element. Any element you want to create, just give the name, right? P tag, div tag, s1, ul tag, li tag, whatever you want to create, right? This line, okay? And this is what now? Const div. This is just a variable, okay? I can name anything, right? Box 1. Okay. Now I need to put this div inside the body, right? Inside the body. So what I will do, I just call the body now, right? Body dot append box 1. Now why I need append, right? And not append child? Append child, I can do any, okay? I mean, append is easy, right? To remember. But if you have div, now you can call append child also, because append child is mostly used for adding the HTML element, okay? So it will be fine now, right? Let's check now. So see here, I just get a div now. Look at this div, right? With no content inside. Okay, so I just learned how to add element or create element and then insert inside the body, right? So the next thing, maybe you are thinking, okay, how I can add the text to this div now? How, right? Or maybe thinking, okay, no, I just want to have h1 and paragraph inside this div, right? How you can do that? So that means, let's say this is the div you created, right? And you append to the basically to the body. So you want h1, right? So let's do that one. Const h1 equal to document dot create element. Where is that create element? This one, right? And h1. Fine. So now it is same like creating the h1, right? I mean, you can just try, okay? Just call the body dot right? Body dot append, because what h1 is the node, right? So append h1 and look at now, save. So inside the body, look at here, you have h1 now added already with no text, right? But no, I want to add inside the div with some text, right? So what we are learning here is how you're going to insert text to the one of the element, okay? That is what we are learning, right? So you select that element, that is h1, because the element is now h1 inside the variable, right? Dot text content. So this is the h1 from create element, right? Whatever you can call it, okay? Fine. So now this text is added to this h1, right? Already. Now this h1 I want to put inside this box. So I will just call this box 1 dot, same process is same, append, right? This h1, okay? And then finally you are appending this box 1 again to the body, right? So save this and now look at here. So inside the div I have one node h1, and this is the h1 from the create element. Clear everyone now? The only thing is that there is two different way you can insert the text, okay? Text content, or let's create one more element right here. Maybe I will just go back and create after this. So let h2 equal to document dot create element. This time I'm gonna name it s2, right? So variable can be anything, but because same like an element, I just give it, right? Easy to remember. Now s2 is my node with no content dot I use text, so I will now this time I will use inner text equal to something, right? This is h2 for box 1. Clear? I just created the s2, added the text. Now I need to append to my box, right? Or parent node. So box1 dot append what h2, right? Simple. Now look at here. So if I go inside the div, I have h2 below h1, right? Fine. And then finally that box is also adding to the, appended to the body, right? You can get all this now. Okay, so we what we have learned so far, we learned how to access the DOM document. Okay, just using the document, right? Just calling the document. Variable name equal to, then you access the document, right? One of the node from the HTML page. So body, or you want to access div, whatever, right? One more thing, right? There is inner HTML. Why we use inner HTML, right? So this is also used for adding one of the, basically one of the HTML, right? Like how you going to insert. I mean, we created the HTML like this and then insert or append to the node, right? To the box one. But you can also append directly to the, like one of the div, right? So let's do that one. Let's say, for example, I'll just call document, right? Dot div. I can access the div now. Document.div, right? Equal to, so div dot, right? Inner text, no, not like that. Okay, let's do one thing. What we're gonna do now, right? What I will do is I'm gonna create here one div again. And then we're going to insert something here, right? Inside this. So I just created hard copy, right? I just write box2 div. So the thing is how we access the box2. So I can create variable name, right? Then I'm going to call document dot. I have to call my function now. Get element by, what is that, ID, or what I add, class, right? So get element by, not ID, but class name. So better is if you have ID or class, right? If you have ID, you can use the directly ID. If you have class name, you can do that. But the best thing is, does not matter what you have, just use query selector, right? So if that is class, then just do the dot and box2. Clear? Now if you console log, just console log, right? Box2, what we can get? Let's go to the console and see that's the box2, right? You just have access to that div. See? Clear? Now let's add something inside here, right? So box2 dot inner HTML equal to maybe p tag. You can, so now you can add the whole HTML, right? Like normal HTML. Hello, this is p tag in box2, right? Save. Now we can go back to our element. Let's go to the element, right, and check now. So box2, inside of box2, let's open this. And you can see now, hello, this is a p tag in box2, right? So this is a one way you can insert the HTML directly, right, inside the box2. Even you can add backtick, right? Backtick like this. And then add multiple line of code. If you have multiple, like HTML, right? Heading 3. Basically heading 3. Okay, save. So you will see now in the box2 here you have paragraph heading 3. You can add multiple line of code, right? The only bad thing about this is for security reason, right? This is not recommended. So let's, you don't have to use this, right? I just show you there is a something called inner HTML, which is used for inserting the node inside the element, right? One of the box, or anywhere, even directly in the body you can do, right? If you do directly in the body, let's do the body, right? You have the body there on the top. What's gonna happen now? So this is the S2 for box 1. I think, I don't know, what is this, right? Oh, I spelled something wrong. Okay, see, the only thing is inner HTML will clean up everything, right? Whatever you have there. See, we added something in the body before, right? And now I said body.inner.html equal to this. So it will just clean everything before, whatever was before, and then add this, right? But you want to add to the previous one, then what you do? I think plus equal to, right? Let's try this. See, concatenation, like add whatever the new stuff to the old one, right? But remember in our to-do app, right, we use this like div whatever the box dot inner HTML equal to empty. First you empty out before you render everything. I hope you guys remember, right? So that's the thing. Okay, so we learned, right, about few of the properties. Let's try now. Let's try to do a few more things. So the next thing is, right, let me check the document. Okay, here, go back, and so if you look at here, right, what I want you guys to try, whatever we have learned so far, right, just try to master that part. Okay, then get element by ID, get element by tag name, get element by class name, set attribute, create element, set attribute. How are you gonna set attribute, right, or get attribute? So same thing, you have the access, you have access to element, then you can, let's say I want to set attribute to this box too, right? I want to add ID. So I have access to this box 2, that is a div, right? So I'll just call box2 dot set attribute. Attribute is what? What is attribute now? Remember, in a tag there is attribute, right? Can you tell me what is the a tag attribute? A tag attribute, anyone? Or image attribute, which is by default you have to add, right? So in a tag, what we have? Anyone? A tag attribute, href, right? The link for your href is the attribute for a tag, right? And for your image, you have what? Source to connect your image. Okay, so that is attribute. You have ID attribute, class attribute, right? That is called attribute. Okay, attribute. Why we need attribute? Why we need attribute? We have normal HTML, right? Any HTML element, but now we need attribute also, because attribute enhance the capabilities of the element, right? Okay, it is used for selecting the element also, like class and ID we use for selecting the element, so that we can apply some additional things, right, like CSS. Okay, even we use ID or class to select that element in JavaScript by using the DOM API or function, get element by ID, get element by class name, query selector. Okay, all these things, right? So attribute is very important. Okay, let's set the attribute now, right? So box2 dot set attribute, and what I will do, I'm just going to add ID here, right? So I'll just give ID like this, and there is already ID, right? So there is class, I believe, not ID but class. So let's do ID and then just give the name, right? So this is set att, okay, like that. Now we can console log. Let's console log this box2, right, and check if there is something happen or not. So if I go to the console, I mean, it's little bit not big. Let me try. So go to the console. Even we can check here, right? So in the box2 ID, look at that ID, right? Set att, okay? Clear? So we have access to that attribute now, right? I mean, you set the attribute. You can even get attribute, right? You can get attribute, by just calling here, box2 dot get attribute, right? And you can pass whatever. Let's pass maybe ID, right? I believe ID. Okay. So you want to console log, right? Just console. This is the value, the attribute value, right? But you have to either display or maybe store in the variable. So let's do that. Console dot log and check now. So we're gonna go to the console now and check that. So see, set att, right? Because our ID has this value. Okay, ID attribute has set att, right? So you get the idea now. You can add attribute, so basically set attribute. I mean, you can do, this is one way, right? This is the using function, but you can even simply do something like this also. Let's comment this out. What you can do, right? You have access to the box2 document get element by box2, right? Dot ID. And that is what we have done in our to-do app. Remember that, right? We added the ID to the, I think, when we update or delete something like that, right? During that time. And give the ID to, maybe, let's give it to something like what we can give, right? Set ID, right? Like that, okay? Now we can console log box2 and see if there is something. So we just console log, right? And look at here, ID is set ID. See, even you can just attach directly to the object, right? So, when you do dot something, that is like the adding properties to the object. So box2 is also object now, right? When you select the box2 from the document, it's the object, and you can attach the new property to the object, right? So attributes are also properties of the object, okay? So what I want you guys to do right today, whatever we have done, simple stuff, okay? Basically reading the document, creating the, elements, append child, right? Or append. So you create nodes or element, then append to the, document, one of the body or maybe one of the div. And like set attributes, get attributes, right? And also please just do the search, right? And go through all this, okay? Let's see, just go through some of the here, right? Some of the APIs are function here. Go through that one. And then tomorrow we're going to look at the event listener, right? Just look at the event listener. We'll just go through the event listener quickly tomorrow. I mean, I have added some code also, right? You can try, okay? Just try that if you get time. For example, let's see, in the DOM section, there is a README file, right? So here, just copy and paste all this in one of the pages, right? And just give a reading, okay? Just create maybe like, something, let's see, event, right? Let's call it event.html. And I'm gonna, because all is HTML code, right? So I'll just copy this whole thing. here, right? So you can read the comment, okay, like unload event or unfocus event, blur event. What is event now, right? Remember, you click the button, you have form, you submit the button, right? So that is forms submit event, okay? Tomorrow we're going to look at this again, but if you get time, please go through, quickly read, right? And try to understand that also. If you run this page, okay, you see the form here. So if I type something, right, and submit, let's go to the console and check now, right? So you're going to find in the console the result right there. So there is a lot of event, okay? So you have to pause most of them and try one by one, right? See, if you type here, even there is an event happening, right? Look at this event happening, okay? Key press. I'm pressing the key and the event happening, right? Key up, key down, you know, whatever, right? So just try one by one, right? Just comment out and just try one by one. That is all the event, right? And then we have learned about, add event listener. When you click the button or submit form, that is click event, that is the most useful one, right? And then you have the function to run. So we will look at that tomorrow during our HTML form also, and, talk about this event. But if you get, chance to read, just to read through. Okay, guys, so let me stop here. If you have any question, please ask me, right?